Hey guys, this is Drew with Coal River Workshop. I was wanting to get on here and do a quick demo of something that took a little bit of learning and didn't really have all the information all in one place whenever I first started doing CNC work or just working with vector graphics. I really didn't want to pay for any kind of premium software or anything like that, but so I was able to find a process that worked for me and just wanted to go ahead and show you guys how to do that. And it's pretty much just any kind of image that you find that's not already some kind of .svg or vector image, you can get a screen capture of it if it's not copyrighted through like search or from some other website, and you can actually turn it into a vector file to either do a laser engraving or do some kind of CNC work on it. So first we'll go ahead and the first thing that you're going to need that you won't already have installed, and this is a free tool that's just to modify images and do some other cool things. It's called Inkscape. If you just type it into Google, it's just Inkscape, or just go straight to inkscape.org. You just download the respective version for whatever operating system you're running on. Once you go through, you just go to download here, current version, and just select whichever version you want there and run through the installer. So in my case I would pick 64-bit, and I'm just doing just a regular executable image. If it doesn't start, it goes ahead and starts there. Now I already have this installed, so I'm not going to go through any of that. I just want to be able to show you where to go to get this software. So first we're just going to go just try to find a generic image to do a test on. I am from West Virginia, so this is a pretty common thing. A lot of crafts and stuff people will make out of state cutouts and things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just choose just a generic image, and right here this is just this. There's a ton of these on here. It's not really something special, but what I'll do with these, I'll try to shoot to go actually find, if it's a specific image that's licensable. I usually have a couple sites that I have accounts with that I'll go try to find images. But if it's something very generic like this, or something from like a public website, I'll usually try to go there first. But for this, I'll just use just the Windows snipping tool. Just go ahead and highlight that and get it saved as just a basic image. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save here. State demo. I'm going to just hit save on that. I want to go ahead and open up a new document for Inkscape, and then I'm just going to go right into open. Then I'm just going to go into that WV State demo that I just made. And then you can see this could be any color. It doesn't have to be a black and white image, but what we're going to do here is it's going to actually go through and trace if it's representable enough lines, like the lines are not faded or anything like that. This process works for any color. It doesn't matter what color it is. So what I'll do is I'll click it to where it has this dotted line all the way around it, like the scale, and then I'll go up to path here and do trace bitmap. That'll bring up this other little side menu here, and then I just click apply, and then you can see the image changes a little bit, but what it actually does is it creates a solid black outline of the underlying image. So this, you can see if I drag at it, it doesn't have a background around it at all. It's just the overlaying outlay, or the original image. So what I do is I just kind of drag this to the side so I can tell the difference between the background image and the outline. I'll click and select the background image and just hit delete on the keyboard. Makes that background image go away. Drag this back into place. Go to File and then Save As. And the default file type is going to be a .svg, which is what we want. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that the same, WV State demo, and then we're done. From here we can import this into any program that uses vector images. So for right here, we're just going to go close this down, and I use a Shipoko CNC machine from Carbide Create. So that's what we're going to be using here, is just Carbide Create. And then from here the process would be just to go into import. Then we're going to go into the SVG we just created, and you can see here that we now have a vector image. So where that image was thick, it actually has an inside and an outside line. You know, from that is two separate images, or two separate entities here. So what I'll usually do, this one's a little bit off here, but I really, if I'm wanting to cut this out, I'll just select the inside image to where it's orange, then hit the delete key on it, and then I'm straightforward with that. So I'm good from here. So if I want to just go ahead and do a straight outline cut of this in Carbide Create, you know, we'll have some more videos and stuff coming back from this, but just to do a quick line item here, we'll just go ahead and just create a simple toolpath to cut this out. And I'm just going to go ahead and select my 1/4 inch end mill, and this is what I would put if I just had, this is the last number that I stuck in, but I'm not going to actually run this job. But we would select our offset direction. If we want to keep that same outline from this, we can select either no offset, where it'll cut directly on the line inside left. If you want it to cut like inside that line, say if we were going to do an inlay, we would do an inside left cut. And then possibly if we were putting another piece in here, we would do an outside cut, and then we would place that inlay inside the original cut here. But just for what we're doing here, we're just going to do an outside cut because we just want to have that same outer dimensions and everything. So I want it to cut completely through the stock, and I just want to be able to use this to make as a basic sign. So we're going to hit OK here. Now for this, where it's going to cut all the way through, we're going to want to put some tabs in there. So we'll just go ahead and do edit tabs, and I typically just will put one in some of these basic areas here. Some people want more, some people want less. So some of these I just try to put it on some kind of straight location, the straightest I can find, so I could use my reciprocating tool to actually cut this out, to cut the tabs out. But what this is going to do is this is just going to hold this in place while we cut it out, because as soon as it runs its last pass, it might be just a fraction, you know, just a fraction of an inch thinner in stock in one area if I didn't get it milled, you know, 100%, you know, flat and the thickness all the way around. So if it starts going through, or my stock is just a little bit off, my wasteboard's off, it could cut through in a certain area, and then as soon as all these other areas get free, this interior piece is just going to fall down and probably make contact with the end mill at some point and mess up the project. So that's why you always want to use tabs if you're completely freeing up that entire object that you're cutting out. Where these are some more fragile areas where they're smaller pieces, I typically try to take care of those a little bit more than the other pieces. But I would just click OK there, click OK out of it, and it'll go ahead and show you know, my cutout speed. So at that point I can do a show simulation, and there it is, and it would cut it out just the same as what you're seeing there. So okay, if you all like this video and you want to see more of this kind of content, just please like and subscribe, and we'll be definitely putting out more Carbide Create and CNC tooling videos and things like that coming up. So I'd like to thank you all for watching.